Let us discuss some of the most important questions from indefinite integrations both for CBSE class 12 students and state board intermediate students. This is one of the most important chapter and most of the students feels this chapter to be difficult one, but you have a clear conceptual understanding of what calculus takes place in the chapter of integration, then you can very easily solve the corresponding questions. Today let us discuss some of the very short question and answers from the integrations chapter. Now we have picked a most important concepts of 10 questions. Through these 10 questions you can solve any number of problems from this chapter. Now let us discuss the first question, that is integral of secant square into cosecant square. So how to solve this question is nothing but you can convert first the corresponding trigonometric ratios into their reciprocals. So it can be written as 1 by secant, that is cosecant sin square x, and secant will be cos square x dx. This is the first step. Then here you can use the identity for 1, that is we know that sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. From that 1 is replaced by sin square x plus cos square x divided by the same quantity, that is sin square x into cos square x dx. Now in the next step, let us distribute the denominator to the two terms of the numerator, that is sin square x by sin square x into cos square x dx plus cos square x by sin square x into cos square x dx. Here sin square x cancel, here cos square x cancel. Then 1 by cos square x will be secant square x dx plus 1 by sin square x, that is cosecant square x dx. So here if you observe, the integral has changed from an unknown form into a known form. Here you know the formulas for both secant square x and cosecant square x, that is integral of secant square x dx is tan x and integral of cosecant square x dx is minus cot x plus c, where c is the constant of integration. So by using simple trigonometric conversions, you can convert integral of secant square into cosecant square dx into corresponding sin and cos ratios, then you can get the result very easily. Hope this question is clear. Now let us move to the next question, that is integral of sin square x divided by 1 plus cos 2x dx. Now here in this problem let us change the denominator. So it is integral of sin square x divided by 1 plus cos 2x can be written as 2 cos square x dx. Then take the denominator 2 constant outside, then sin square x by cos square x will be tan square x dx. Here we doesn't have direct identity for integral of tan square x. Now convert this into corresponding secants. Tan square x can be written as secant square x minus 1 dx, that is nothing but 1 by 2 into integral of secant square x is tan x and integral of 1 is constant x plus c, where c is the constant of integration. So here by converting 1 plus cos 2x into 2 cos square x by using the identity cos 2a is equal to 2 cos square a minus 1, by using this trigonometric identity you can easily solve this problem. Now the next question is integral of sin power 4x that is integral of sin power 4x divided by cos power 6x dx. Now here if you observe, this cos power 6x can be written as cos power 4x into cos square x, that is I am distributing the exponent of cos. So you will get sin power 4x divided by cos power 4x into 1 by cos square x dx. Then sin by cos is tan, then you will get tan power 4x into secant square x dx. Now the problem now is in the form f power nx into f dash x dx. Here f of x is tan x and we know that tan x differential is secant square x. Now for this one the formula will be f of x whole power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 c. Just identify which part will play the f of x, that is function role, and which part will play the f dash x, that is its differential role. You can directly apply the integral form. So it is f of x is tan x here. So tan power n plus 1, that is 4 plus 1, 5 divided by 5 plus c is the constant of integration. Very simple problem, that is just converting or distributing the cos power 6x into exponent of 4 and exponent of 2. Then this quantity sin by cos whole power 4 will become tan and the remaining part will convert into its differential. Now the next one, integral of 1 by x log x dx. Now this problem can be solved by easiest method of substitution, that is integration by substitution. Now which part should we substitute as t? First check which part by considering as t, the other part has to be removed as f of x. So here if you consider log x as t, then its differential 1 by x dx becomes dt. So by taking log x as t, the remaining function 1 by x dx will be removed as dt. So I am taking log x as t here. So integral of 1 by t, then 1 by x dx becomes dt. We know that integral of 1 by x is log mod x. So here it is log mod t plus c. Now resubstitute the value of t. Log x is taken as t, so the answer will be log of log x plus c. This is the solution where c is the constant of integration. Now this can also be done by the simple integral formula, that is f dash x by f of x dx, that is nothing but log mod f of x plus c. Now here if you write the given problem in this form, then it is 1 by x divided by log x dx. Just I have written 1 by x log x as 1 by x in the numerator and log x as separated quantity. Then if you take log x as f of x, then its differential will be f dash x. So by applying the formula log of log x, that is log of log x plus constant of integration. So you get the same solution. But in regular descriptive exams, this method is not suggestible. Actually this method is only for the objective purpose. For the descriptive methodology, you should apply substitution method of integration. Next, let us take the next problem, that is cos root x problem. Integral of cos of root x divided by root x dx. This problem can be easily solved by the same substitution method. Let us take root x as t. Now, how could I know that root x is only t? Why can't root x be? That answer will be given in the next conversion of differentiation, that is dx. If you apply differentiation, then it will be 1 by 2 root x dx should be dt. So, by taking root x as t, you can eliminate this quantity, that is dx by root x as dt. That is why I have taken root x as t. Now, 1 by root x dx, here on cross multiplication this becomes 2 into dt. Now, the given integral form changes to cos t dx will be 2 into dt, that is on taking the constant 2 outside, integral of cos t is minus sin t plus constant of integration. Now, resubstitute the value of t, that is minus 2 sin root x plus c is the constant of integration. Hence, this cos root x by root x problem can also be easily solved by the substitution method, and also the remaining problems also of the same substitution method. So, this problem is also substitution method, it is also substitution method, it is also substitution method. Now, let us take simply discuss how they can be converted, that is cube root of sin x into cos x dx. Here, if you consider sin x as t, then cos x dx is removed as dt. It is a simple logic to solve any problem by substitution method is nothing but whenever the integral contains two quantities, that is one will be f of x, second will be g of x, then how can you identify this problem can be solved by substitution method is, if you are considering one function to be as t, then the removed function, that is second function, should be removed as dt. Only in those cases we apply substitution method. If that is not possible, if both the functions remain the same, then it is not suggestible to take substitution method. We solve the problem by other methods of integration. Here, if you are considering sin x as t, this cos x will be removed as t. So, I am taking sin x is equal to dt. On differentiation, cos x dx becomes dt. Now, the problem changes into t power cube root, that is 1 by 3 cos x dx is dt. Hence, that is x power n form, n plus 1 by n plus 1, 1 by 3 plus 1 divided by 1 by 3 plus 1 plus c is the constant of integration. Hence, the solution is, resubstitute the value of sin, that is sin x, on LCM you will get 4 by 3. Here it is also 4 by 3. When it comes to the numerator, it becomes 3 by 4 plus constant of integration c. So, it is about the sixth problem. Seventh problem also the same, that is integral of secant square x divided by 1 plus tan x whole cube dx. Here also two functions, that is 1 plus tan x is one function and secant square is second function. By considering which one as t, then the other function is removed as dt. Secant square x dx differential is not tan x, but the differential of tan x is secant square x dx. Hence, I am considering this 1 plus tan x as t. On differentiation, it becomes secant square x dx is equal to dt. Hence, this secant square into dx will be removed as dt. So, the given integral changes into 1 by t cube, that is dt, that is on numerator it becomes t power minus 3 dt, then x power n form t power minus 3 plus 1 divided by minus 3 plus 1 plus c, where c is the constant of integration. So, on resubstituting the value of t, it becomes minus 1 by 2 into t. T is 1 plus tan x and the power minus 2 remains. So, it is 1 plus tan x whole square plus c is the constant of integration. So, both the sixth and the seventh problems are also solved by the same method of substitution by integration. Next comes other problem also. Here if you consider integral of 1 by square root of sin x into square root of 1 minus x square dx. Here also you have two functions. One is sin x, another one is this one, that is 1 by square root of 1 minus x square. We know that the sin inverse x differential is 1 by square root of 1 minus x square dx, that is dt. So by considering sin inverse x as t, the other function 1 by square root of 1 minus x square will be removed as dt. Now the problem changes into 1 by root t dt. Then writing this form as t power minus half dt, that is x power n, apply t power minus half plus 1 divided by minus half plus 1 plus c, where c is the constant of integration. On simplification it becomes t power half divided by 1 by 2 plus c is the constant of integration. So 1 by 2 on numerator it gets reciprocated, so you will get 2 into root of t value is sin inverse x plus c is the constant of integration. So out of these 10 problems, almost, that is fourth problem, fifth problem, sixth, seventh and eighth problem also are substitution methods of integrations. Then let us move on to the next problem, that is ninth problem. It is given as 1 by x plus 1 into x plus 2 dx. If you observe the problem, in the denominator there are two factors. Whenever in a given problem the denominator is given in the form of factors, then the best method for integration is by partial fraction. Now let us consider first this one and distribute the terms. By applying partial fractions, this can be written as a by x plus 1 plus b by x plus 2. Now by method of partial fraction, on equating the denominators, 1 is equal to a into x plus 2 plus b into x plus 1, let us consider it as 1. Now if you take x is equal to minus 1 in 1, then this part will become 0. Then 1 is equal to a into minus 1 plus 2, that is 1. Therefore the value of a is 1. Now the second trial and error, that is take x is equal to minus 2 in 1. Then 1 is equal to, this part becomes 0 now. b into minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1. So the value of b is minus 1. Hence the given partial fraction can be written as 1 by x plus 1 minus 1 by x plus 2. Now you just converted the denominator of factors into two separated terms. Now integrate on both sides, that is nothing but integral of 1 by x plus 1 into x plus 2 dx can be written as integral of 1 by x plus 1 dx minus integral of 1 by x plus 2 dx. We know that 1 by x dx is log mod x. Here the coefficient of x is also 1. So you doesn't need to divide any coefficient here. So the solution will be log mod x plus 1 minus log mod x plus 2 plus c is the constant of integration. Now just on simplification, the answer is in the mode that is log a minus log b, that can be written as log a by b, and the final solution is log mod x plus 1 divided by x plus 2 plus c is the constant of integration. Hence, how to identify whether the given problem comes to the form of partial fractions or not? Just identify the denominator has to be present in two or more different factors. When they are present in factors, you can just simply apply partial fraction, resolve the given integral into corresponding partial fractions and separate the integration, you will directly get the result. Now the last one and the important one. Last one is integral of 1 by x plus 3 into square root of x plus 2 dx, one of the most important model. Here you just check here that the term that is present in the square root is always 1 less than the term that is present outside. So it is x plus 3 and it is x plus 2. For all these model of problems in which one term is present outside the square root, one is within the square root, and outside the term is 1 more than the term in the square root, here consider the term within the square root as t square. Okay, for all these model of problems, same method. Now differentiating dx is equal to 2t dt. Now convert the given problem, that is 1 by x plus 3 can be written as x plus 2 plus 3 and x plus 2 is t square, so it becomes t square plus 1 into square root of t square 2t dt. Then square and root get cancelled, 1 by t square plus 1 into t 2t dt, this t get cancelled, separate the constant term, that is 2 as outside, then 1 by t square plus 1 dt. Now it comes to the form as integral of 1 by 1 plus x square dx. We know that it is 1 by a into tan inverse x by a. So that is 2 into, here a is 1, tan inverse of x by a, that is t, plus c is the constant of integration. Now resubstitute the value of t, then 2 into tan inverse of t is square root of x plus 2, because you consider x plus 2 as t square, then t becomes square root of x plus 2 plus c, where c is the constant of integration. So whatever the problem given such that the term in the square root is 1 less than this one, always the solutions are of the form 2 into tan inverse of square root of the term that is present in the square root. So these are simple, very short question and answers from indefinite integrations.